Good morning, students. Welcome to the class on pericyclic reactions. We were just discussing about 2+2 cycloaddition reactions. So today we will complete that. So 2+2 cycloadditions are possible under thermal conditions using a ketene, right? So here, of course, the molecular orbital approach is a 2 pi s plus 2 pi a approach, right? So today we will see some examples on this. So ketene and an alkene. So 2+2 cycloaddition is possible between a ketene and an alkene. When we look at the ionic charges on this ketene and alkene, we can easily predict the position of these substituents. So oxygen being more electronegative, it will get partial negative charge. So the carbon will get partial positive charge and carbon will get partial negative charge. Here, if the alkyl groups are electron releasing, so they will release electrons. So they will release electrons up to this. So this becomes, the end carbon becomes negative, and the carbon which is having substituents, it is always positive. So if you want to have a 2+2 cycloaddition between a ketene and an alkene, uh, uh, it is the reaction of this kind, right? So this positively charged carbon and negatively charged carbon will form a bond. Simultaneously, this negatively charged carbon and this positively charged carbon again will generate another bond. So this is how we can predict the position of substituents in the product. For example, I'd like to add one more point here. Ketene must always electron deficient. Ketene must always be electron deficient, and alkene must always be electron rich. So we can say ketene is an electron poor. So that means ketene with electron withdrawing substituents is favored for 2+2 cycloaddition, whereas alkene with electron releasing substituents is favored for 2+2 cycloaddition. So it should have electron withdrawing substituents, it should have electron releasing substituents. Right. I'll give you one more example, and you see how we can predict the position of substituents when we write the product. Right. So first we will try to write the ions, then we can see how we can predict the position of substituents, right? So this is an alkene, it is having two alkyl groups. So it is delta minus, this is delta plus. Of course, here it is delta minus, middle carbon is delta plus, end carbon is delta negative. So that means it is a reaction between these two carbons and these two carbons, right? So it is a cycloaddition, 2+2 cycloaddition between end carbon and middle carbon. Here it is middle carbon and here it is end carbon. So when we write the product, obviously it is a 2+2 cycloaddition, which gives a four-membered ring, Now, where is this carbonyl? This carbonyl is next to the carbon. Yeah, this is attached to this carbon, and the next carbon we have. So this is attached to a carbon, and this is the carbonyl carbon. Okay, so this is how we can predict the position of substituents in a 2+2 cycloaddition. Okay, yeah, please take the notes. Right. In the next example, we can see ketene is generally unstable. Okay, so what happens? Immediately it undergoes a self-cycloaddition. It will undergo a self dimerization. Okay, so it will undergo a 2+2 cycloaddition like this. It is a dimerized form of ketene. So ketenes are always unstable. They will undergo immediate 2+2 cycloadditions with themselves. Okay, so that is why we need to have a stable ketene molecules. Okay, I'll give the examples. Before that, we will take one more example. Ketenes are yeah. So in this example, we can say ketene will undergo 2+2 cycloaddition with carbonyl also. Okay, so 2+2 will undergo cyclization with carbonyls. So that means not only alkenes, we can also use carbonyls for 2+2 cycloadditions along with ketenes. So in this case, what is the product here? And when we do hydrolyze this, it generates a carboxylic acid which is having a beta hydroxy functional group. These ketene molecules are stable. Yeah, when ketene is undergoing 2+2 cycloaddition with carbonyl, so this is partially charged carbon, negatively charged carbon. Here carbonyl is negatively charged oxygen, positively charged carbon. So there will be a bond formation like this. So this generates a four-membered lactone. So this upon hydrolysis will break this lactone functional group. So it will become carboxylic acid and alcohol. Yeah, we will discuss two more examples on ketene cycloaddition reactions. Ketenes always do react according to their ionic charges, but sometimes it is also possible an exemption. For example, if it is a sterically crowded system. See, when we write the charges, this should be the positively carbon, this is the negatively carbon. Here, this is the positively carbon, right? But when we look at the charges, when we look at the spherical crowding, okay, so this has to, yeah, first I'll give the product and then I'll explain. So here what we will get is, yeah, here it is the product. But when we write the charges, see, because it is two donating groups, it must be negatively charged, it must be positively charged. Here it is negatively charged, positively charged, and negatively charged. Okay, so when we write the charges, it is not happening, right? It should not be, right? But yeah, there are some other factors like spherical crowding. if you want to reverse it and react, this disubstituted carbon and this also disubstituted carbon with two bulky chlorines. So sterical factors will play a role at the same time, and both sides it is having electron releasing substituent. So here selectivity is very less. We can extend this reaction by treating this carbonyl with diazomethane. Diazomethane again will undergo, will expand the ring. Diazomethane will lead to the expansion in the ring size. Okay, here I'll write the charges. You try the mechanism. So this is minus, this is plus. So CH2 minus will attack on carbonyl. Because this side we have two chlorines, it is not possible for diazomethane to approach the carbonyl from this phase. So instead what it will do, it will approach from this phase. At the same time, this alkyl group will undergo migration. Okay, then N2 will be leaving. So you try the mechanism, but here in this case, diazomethane is used to expansion of the ring. Now we will see one more example on 2+2 cycloadditions. Though we have diene, ketene will not undergo 4+2 cycloadditions. Remember, ketene will not undergo 4+2 cycloadditions. Ketene will always undergo 2+2 cycloadditions. So here, instead of diene, only one alkene will undergo 2+2 cycloaddition with ketene. Okay. So I must write this. And the product is always cis product. When we treat this molecule with zinc in acetic acid, what will happen? Zinc in acetic acid is a very good reagent for dehallucination. It is a very good reagent for dehallucination. So zinc in acetic acid is a very good dehalogenating agent. We can also use sodium in ethanol or sodium in alcohol. Okay, but with sodium, dehallucination is possible. At the same time, it will also involve in Birch reduction, so reduction of carbonyl compounds. So there is always a possibility for side products. Okay, so sodium in alcohol can be used for dehallucination. Zinc in acetic acid can also be used for dehallucination, but zinc in acetic acid will not do any additional reactions, whereas sodium in ethanol is known for reduction of carbonyls, dienes, aromatic systems like Birch reduction. So it is always possible to have over reactions. Okay, so don't go for sodium in ethanol for dehallucination. For a, for a good dehallucination, always use zinc in acetic acid. I will also give the mechanism for this, how this zinc in acetic acid will do alpha dehallucination. Okay, I'll take one and I'll explain it. Yeah, we know zinc is a good electropositive element where it will release two electrons immediately, right? So zinc, because zinc plus 2 is more stable, yeah, we can write like this. When we write like this, what happens? The carbonyl, oxygen being more electron rich, so more electronegative, it will gain the negative charge. That means the bonding, the pi bond will be polarized towards oxygen. So this carbon will be positive. So in a carbonyl, oxygen is negatively charged, carbon is positively charged. Now zinc will release, so it two electrons. So zinc donates two electrons to positively charged carbon. If one electron is released from positive to, it becomes neutral, so it is a radical. If it is if if two electrons are released, then it becomes negatively charged. Okay, right. So zinc donates two electrons, so this positively charged carbon becomes negatively charged, and of course we have Zn plus 2. Now this negative charge can be polarized towards chlorine because chlorine is a good leaving group. So halogens are good leaving groups. So what we can write, it generates an enolate ion. It generates an enolate ion Zn2 plus Cl minus. So it generates an enolate ion. Of course, enolate ion after addition of water or dilute acid, it becomes enol which can be tautomerized to corresponding carbonyl. So this is how we can do dehallucination using zinc and acetic acid. Ketenes are unstable, so we must prepare them whenever we want to do a reaction on ketene. Okay, so ketenes are always prepared in situ. They are always prepared in situ, and a simultaneous 2 plus 2 cycloaddition is followed by the addition of alkene. So now we will see some methods of ketene preparation. Ketene can be prepared from an acid chloride. This is alpha trichloro acetyl chloride. When we treat this fellow with zinc, like in the same mechanism, it generates a ketene. It generates a ketene. So this is dehallucination process. Dehallucination. So we can explain the same mechanism here. Similarly, ketene can also be prepared from acid chlorides, alpha halo acid chlorides. But for this we need at least one hydrogen which can be treated with a base. So triethylamine is a base which will pick up this proton because alpha proton is always acidic. So when it takes the proton, it becomes negatively charged. Negative charge can be polarized towards carbonyl because chlorine is a good leaving group. So chlorine will be expelling, giving this ketene. So this is dehydrohallucination because we are removing one hydrogen and one chlorine. So it is dehydrohallucination. It is dehydrohallucination. Ketene can also be prepared from a carbene. How do we generate carbene? There are different methods, but a carbene can be easily generated by treating a diazomethane under photochemical conditions. So when we treat this diazomethane with under photochemical conditions, it generates a carbene. So carbon with 2 electrons, it is called a carbene. So carbene can be the electrons can be polarized like this. Okay, then this C double bond will be breaking again, it will form. So this alkyl group will undergo migration. Alkyl group will undergo migration. So overall it leads to alkyl migration, then followed by ketene generation. So ketenes can also be prepared from carbene, which is alpha to the carbonate. Now we will see some examples where in situ generation of ketene followed by 2+2 cycloaddition. So when this moiety is treated with triethylamine, this acid chloride, so it generates a ketene here. A hydrogen from alpha carbon can be picked up. So it generates a ketene here, and this ketene will undergo intramolecular 2+2 cycloaddition. Here we don't look at the charges because spherical crowdings will play a role. So the product is this is the product.